On this video tip series, I want to talk to you guys about pre-screening your clients on the phone. Originally derived from the car selling industry, the term tire kicker was somebody who was indecisive about purchasing a service and never fully satisfied with what was being offered to them. So, regardless of what we call them, pre-qualifying potential clients that call you for your service is going to save you guys time traveling to the job site, typing up proposals that take hours, and from having these hour-long, 2-hour-long on-site discussions that don't lead to a sale. So pre-screening that call is the first step. They may have called you, but it's your turn or time to pre-screen them. During this pre-screening call, you're basically interviewing the caller, and you want to glean information on whether you should take the next step to work for them or not. I follow what I call the 80-20 rule, which basically relates to you allowing them to speak 80% of the time and asking pointed questions and listening 20% of the time. People truly interested in their project want to talk about it. Tire kickers, on the other hand, will ask very pointed questions. They want a ballpark price, and they will waste your time on site. So your conversation should start with you asking permission to ask a few questions to find out more about the project and what they want to do. Here's some things to consider. How did they find you? Ask the caller, how'd they find you? Did they find you on the internet, or have they seen your work somewhere? Did they have a friend refer you? If someone says they found your website, ask them what led them to that site. Was it a random internet search? Carpenter in Concord, they find me all the time. Was it a job site? Was it a referral? Scope of work. Ask what the project is and what they want you to look at. Are they updating? Are they solving a problem? Expanding because of lack of storage? Do they need to add a bedroom, bathroom, or in-law apartment? I try to ask the client to paint a visual picture for me of what they envision their project to look like. After this, you should have a good idea if this is in your wheelhouse or not. Ask about project start date. I always ask when they'd like to start, what their expectations of completion are. Many times, clients are inexperienced in remodeling and have very unrealistic ideas on these dates. Ask about the B word, budget. There, I said it. Nobody wants to talk about the word budget. People think that they need to keep their budget secret. It's not true. As a contractor, you have to determine what their budget is in order to do the project. Figuring this out ahead of time saves you a ton of time in the long run, trust me. If they can't afford a project or don't want to spend the money for a project, it's best to find out sooner than after you spend hours on this project. If they say they don't know or they don't want to talk about a budget, then try rewording your response. Give them project ranges. For example, a low-end bathroom can be as little as $14,000 or as high as $50,000 on a higher end. After a while, you'll quickly get a sense when people are responding honestly or whether they're withholding information. This is also a good time to educate potential clients of construction costs. Ask if they've done any recent remodeling or building. Many times they simply do not have a good grasp of what the costs are and unrealistic expectations of costs. If the potential client's budget is unrealistic, tell them exactly what their budget will get them. And if the call does not proceed in a better direction at that point, politely decline to offer to look at it. You're too busy or it's not for you. If you sense resentment, when speaking to potential clients about their past experiences, remodelings on their homes, don't be shy or don't shy away from comments that indicate they may have had a bad experience. Flush that out. Talk about it. Knowing their concerns or fears is great information. For example, if they complain about past projects, costs growing out of control, explain to them that proper planning and keeping to the budget can combat that, and maybe even keeping a 10% buffer. It's also a good time to explain that projects often get delayed due to hidden conditions, extras, and weather. Scheduling, obviously, as well. I always discuss the hidden costs of remodeling that many people don't consider. Things such as furniture storage, painting, nobody thinks of painting. Landscaping, never think of landscaping, stay at the end of the job. How about eating out when there's loss of a kitchen to a remodel? People don't think about the cost of food. Let's talk about decision makers. Early on, you need to ask and identify who your main point of contact is and who will be making the decisions. If the decision involves more than one person, ensure that both parties are present at your in-person meeting and figure a way how you 2-3 will communicate. Lastly, end the call. At this point, hopefully you've made up your mind whether you're interested in working with this client and setting up an in-person meeting. Maybe you're getting paid for your estimate or not, but prior to disconnecting the call, it's important to summarize your understanding of what they told you. This is important to make sense, to make sure that you've heard what they tried to convey. Taking the time, guys, to pre-screen these potential clients on the phone prior to investing a lot of time and energy will save you a ton of time and money down the road. I promise you. Guys, good luck with this. I hope you're enjoying these video series. I hope this stuff helps you out. We'll see you next time. Take care.